Hello there and welcome. The Industrial Training Fund Act of 1971 is basically to bridge the gap between education and industry by providing the platform for vocational training and skill development. The mandate of the Industrial Training Fund encompasses the promotion and acquisition of skills in industry and commerce aimed at ensuring productivity and efficiency in Nigeria's economy. Its core objectives include provision of training facilities, ensuring standards in industrial training and fostering vocational guidance. The Industrial Training Fund, fondly called ITF, is a parastatal of the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, and it is strategic to the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, especially in the area of job creation. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. This is Reshaping Democracy. In this episode of Reshaping Democracy, we'll be having a man who is reshaping the face of Nigeria's industrial sector. Dr. Afiz Oluwatoyin Ogun, the Director General and Chief Executive Officer of the Industrial Training Fund. He will be providing answers to questions from Nigerians.
My name is Kabiru Sabo from Gombe State. DG sir, in line with your mandate, how has your fund contributed in ensuring that students in institutions of higher learning acquire industrial skills and experience in their courses of studies?
Thank you very much. Every agency has its own or our own mandate. We are in the Ministry of Industry, and for skills in the polytechnics, monotechnics, and the technical colleges. That is the mandate of the Ministry of Education, and which is warehouse in MBT. And the only interface we have with them is what we call labor market information. Because we interface directly with the industry, emerging skills, changing skills in the world, what is happening in the technical field, in the industry. We get this information, pass on to them so that they can use this to reshape their curriculum in the colleges, monotechnics, and polytechnics. That is the only job we have with them. Otherwise, every other thing has to do with the Ministry of Education. We belong to the Ministry of Industry, and we interface directly with the industry. That's why Manufacturing Association of Nigeria is our friend. That's why NECA, National Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, our friend. The artisans on the streets of Nigeria, our friend. Those that finish from technical schools, monotechnics and polytechnics, immediately they graduate, they become our property. That is why it is like this. However, whatever happens in their colleges and in their polytechnics and monotechnics, strictly with the Ministry of Education.
My name is Jerry Japorupada from Gombe State. DG sir, what is the role of ITF in ensuring smooth transition from school to the world of work and enhance student contact for job opportunities?
The question he has just asked is now our mandate. When these technicians from monotechnics, polytechnics, colleges of technologies relating to skills, when they graduate, they become the property of the Ministry of Industry, because we interface with the industry, and it is now their issue. It's now warehouse in our agency, the ITF. Maybe in the past, things may have been a little bit rough, but whatever happens depends on the government of the day. Today's government, the government of this President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is putting round pegs in round holes. Don't cross, do your own work. That is why he has mandated us in ITF to do what we call skill up artisans, to raise the standard of these technicians coming out from the polytechnics, monotechnics, and the technical schools. And of course, the artisans on the streets, the dropout students from school, raise their standard, raise it to international standard, give them international certification, such that when they go anywhere in the world, they will be recognized, duly recognized, so that we no longer see artisans coming from neighboring countries and even as far as China and India coming to take artisanary job in Nigeria. Yes, they have. Of course, they have the right. After all, Nigerians also work elsewhere in the world. But we are the landlords. But what we have now, our job now, is it satisfactory? Nigerians want the best. And the president wants us to raise them to international standard. Our artisans, the indigenes, the citizens of Nigeria, who are artisans, or those who have come out from polytechnics and colleges of technical schools, and those on the street, raise them to international standard so that they can compete anywhere in the world. And that's exactly what this new ITF is doing under this new government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
My name is Sunday Bappa Pada from Gombe State. Poor attention to research and development has been a major issue in Nigerian development. Sir, what is your agency doing in that regard?
Research and development. Of course, we have a department in ITF, the research development, research and curriculum development. I just told you now that we are responsible for taking LMI, labor market information, into the polytechnics, furnish them with this information so that the evolving skills, the new skills in the technology, they can now implement them, they can now put them in their curriculum. So we have this department doing this, and now is very effective. We also collaborate with certification bodies outside the country, the City and Guild, the ABET QA, the Person, and a host of others. We want a situation where our artisans, where our technicians will be able to have certification from top-notch certification bodies before we give them license. We are telling you that the time is near where artisans in Nigeria will not be able to work without license. They will have their own work permit or work license in that area, so that when a plumber comes to your house, you can trace him. The government has a rope on his leg, hypothetical rope on his leg. You can trace him. He will not just misbehave and go away, because he knows that if he messes up your job or charges you anyhow, there is a consequence. He knows that. So we are researching every day from our research department. Research is going on continuously, especially with this our program, Super, that the government has given us. A lot is happening with this program. We have a lot of departments, maybe otherwise maybe be seen as sleeping before. They are now awake, because we need to report back to the president, who is always waiting to give us our report card every quarter.
Is Adelanke Dayo Adepoju. We're seeing a lot of reduction in the technical colleges. They're becoming moribund. It's important to know ITF's role in this space and how they can, remedy the situation and, reactivate that area towards technical development and capability development.
Thank you. I just told you that when it comes to technical schools, technical colleges, monotechnics, polytechnics, that person should ask that question. He should direct that question to the Ministry of Education and by extension, the MBTE. That question should be directed to them because we interface with the industry. Lifelong learning at work. What happens? How do we make our industry? It is sad that artisans, you come to Nigeria, you bring investment to Nigeria, you form a factory, an industry, you establish an industry, and you still go out again to import workers. It's sad. It's sickening. That's our work. But for those technical schools that you say they are moribund, they are dead, a lot of them are suffering, they are sick. You are telling the truth. Everyone knows that in Nigeria, but I am sure that MBTE is taking care of that because that is their direct mandate, and the president will not just fold his arm to see them dead. They've been dead, they've been dying before he came in, and I'm sure he's doing something with the MBTE to put that in order.
I am Sophia Saka from Lagos. DG sir, as part of your mandate, what are you doing towards boosting small and medium-scale enterprise in Nigeria?
What is super? Super means scale-up artisan. The president has given us this task, and we're happy, we're excited to take it on, and we started. We open a portal, wrote the framework, open a portal. Nigerian artisans and intending artisans have been doing their registration. We've gathered almost 700,000 artisans and intending artisans. One, we bring all of them into that drum, hypothetical drum. That portal is like our hypothetical drum. Bring all of them, whether you are an experienced artisan, a new artisan, an intending artisan, a very old artisan, we bring you in there. When we bring you in there, we assess you. Then we place you to the category you belong. We train you up to international standard. I've just mentioned a few of the certification body we are collaborating with. We don't just train you. We make sure we train you up to international standard and you get international certification. I cannot go and face the president who is telling me to upskill Nigerians to international standard and tell him I'm using local curriculum. I have to go and bring those people that are known, the bodies that are well known in the world, and bring them in and collaborate with them to come and have exam for my artisans, certify them. When they pass, then after the certification, we license them. It may interest you to know, because you may want to ask me, these artisans are elite, a lot of them are illiterate, especially those, I'm not talking about the technicians coming from the Polytechnic, Monotechnic, and the technical schools. I'm talking about, what about the ones on the streets? The program also affects them. Maybe some of them we say, because they don't understand English, Nigerians will say they are not educated. No, I disagree with that. They are educated. That small boy in that mechanic workshop can dismantle an engine. You and I cannot. He's educated in that area. You and I, we are not educated in that area. So what have we done? All these trainings we are talking about, they are in 4 Nigerian languages: Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. Then Pidgin. There is hardly anyone in Nigeria who does not understand at least one of these languages. Then the third exit is MSME that you are asking about. You were asking about. What do we do with them? There are some Nigerians generally, once they reach age of 40, 45, they don't want to go out. They don't want to go and beg for a job or anything. They want to remain on their own. And of course, we have taught them entrepreneurship. Even some of the young ones who want to form their own businesses. We are collaborating with banks, especially Bank of Industry, still under our industry, to incubate businesses. Gone are the days where you finish training and somebody will give you one sewing machine or one and say, go. Or you finish as a barber training and somebody will give you one clipper, go. No, you see, those people, The clipper will come from this hand, they will receive it here, and this hand they will sell it immediately, even before they leave the venue. We are not doing that. This president says, incubate businesses for them, create wealth. Let these people, let this family benefit from the training that their sons and daughters have gained. Incubate businesses for them. When you incubate businesses for them and you spread the loan with which you set up this business such that it will be easy for them to pay. And we are sending to them, mind you, we don't just leave them like that. We have trained, and we are still training our ITF officials in start and improve your business with the International Labour Organization. The second step, the second set they finish, and they come back. They are the ones that will be mentor to these people we incubated business for. They will be the mentor, and they'll be moving around to help them on how their business can grow.
My name is Mr. Mahmoud Wakili from Bauchi. Sir, what are sources of funding for ITF?
The source of funding for ITF, we know that this is an elephant project, we know. The main source of funding for ITF is 1% contribution from the industries and employers of labor, both governmental and non-governmental. And that is because we are responsible to them. When we make sure the people are trained, we should now furnish them so that they will no longer go out. However, this 1%, some of them also train their staff. We also have to make sure that these staff are trained, that the staff are trained. Once we find out your staff, let's assume you paid your contribution, 1% of your payroll in the year you pay. Let's say it is 10,000 naira. You have given us 10,000 naira. When we check and you have duly trained your staff, we are satisfied that you have trained your staff. You are satisfied with everything you have done as far as training in your industry is concerned. We check everything. We have criteria. I cannot mention everything here. It's a set criteria we look at. Then we refund a maximum of 50% of what you have paid to you. 50% we refund it back to you as reimbursement. This will give you some sort of encouragement. That's what the government has put in place so that those companies will be encouraged. It's not a tax at all. It's to encourage them to participate in uplifting the skill of the workforce of Nigeria.
My name is Lukman Suleiman from Bauchi State, Nigeria. Sir, are you comfortable with the act establishing the PAN? If not, which area will you recommend for amendment?
We are satisfied, but what we are doing right now is we want to enrich. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? We want to enrich the act because we are still within the purview of the boundaries of our act. But we want to enrich the act. I was speaking, as I told you, with the DG of Man yesterday. An example came up where if you have any little issue with the workers, they may deliberately destroy the machine. Who do you go to? Who do you report to? If they know there is a consequence, if they know that they cannot just do that without their license being seized or without them appearing before a particular panel who may eventually seize their license that they can no longer work, then they will bluff you and do whatever they want to do. They put you in their pocket, they handcuff you. Such thing will no longer happen when we finish with this act. Those are the type of things we want to do. And also, there are some English terms that some people interpret here and there. We want the house to tell us where it is exactly. And that's what we are currently doing.
Okay. My name is Umar Muhammad Shira from Bauchi. Sir, what is the status of your personnel? Are you present in all states of the Federation?
You see, ITF is one of the biggest government parastatal. Very few states lack office. For example, let me give you very few examples. Jigawa State. And the governor of Jigawa State now has donated an office. It's just about to furnish the office for us. Osun State does not have ITF. They are under Oyo State. Osun State is calling us, and I've sent 3 of my managers there to have meeting with them. They are ready for donating offices, and even training centers, well-equipped training centers. Ekiti, the same. Just very few of them. We are well spread, and we have the personnel. That is not our problem. But you know, by the grace of God, in our next budget, it is my desire, this is what I want to do, sending them, my TDOs, my trainers, out of the country to gather more international certification. You see, some people say you can't be trainer and be regulator, and we are not trainers. Take, for example, when you were in the university, you have education department. In that university, you will now have demonstration school. You understand what I'm trying to say? What we are doing is a prototype. Come and see. Private training center. Come and see. If you are not sure of what to do, come to the few training centers we have and come and see how it should be done. That's what we are doing. Not that we are doing the training. If we were able to do all the training, we will not invite people. I will not be telling Nigerians to form training centers, and I will not be registering training centers. No, we are not doing that. We are only chewing them out to do it.
I am Pelumi Ogubote from Lagos. DG, sir, intervention through special programs is part of your agency contributing towards renewed hope agenda of the president. Tell us about it.
I think you need to thank the president more. Who is magnanimous enough to look at what is happening in Nigeria and say, these people that have been neglected, these artisans and technicians that have been neglected, if you finish from Polytechnic, what happens to you? Who checks if you are good enough? Who upskills you to be able to fit into those industries? If you finish from the technical schools too, same thing. He has looked at all those things and said, no, we need to invest in this sector of our economy. And you can see from what I've told you, how this thing will really uplift the economy. We are upskilling artisans to upgrade our economy, to make, to create wealth for Nigerians, and to take them away from all sorts of vices.
The ITF, also known as the Industrial Training Fund, is positioned to promote skills acquisition and capacity building in Nigeria. And how do they do this? By offering various and distinct opportunities for students. Not only students, employees and employers. Nigerians are implored to take advantage of these vast array of opportunities ITF is providing to enhance their skills, productivity, advance their careers, and contribute to the growth and development of the Nigerian economy. Thanks for watching. I'm Ayodeji Makinde, Reshaping Democracy. We'll return same time, same station next week. Bye-bye.